Okay, so we went to this place called the Potteries Museum and Art Gallery, and as soon as we walked in, we were faced with the biggest and most beautiful mosaic I've ever seen, which seemed to emanate the amount of hard work and effort that goes into things which only get broken, and really symbolises all of the work that went into all of the ceramic industry in the local area, and each of the tradesmen that worked on it, and I really think that it emanates culture and relevance and shows how broken things can be made beautiful again. And then we went into the actual exhibition, where we saw Matt Chambers' work, who created a really interesting sense of optics and movement in spite of the fact that none of the pieces moved, and each individual sphere, I guess, gave a new perspective. And then we looked at the work of Jonathan Keep, who created pots with this sort of wave-like form, which kind of looks like sound when you look at it through the pattern of a microphone, how the sharpness seems to amplify a sort of noise and the softness otherwise. And then I saw Laura Scooby's work, which was really interesting, the way she plays with techniques and colours and styles instead of seeming to present some sort of concept through her work. And I really wanted to look closely at the way the crackled glazes worked under this sort of raised pattern, and it was actually really beautiful and kind of still and textured and nice, and I just liked it. And now something completely different. Claudia Claire's sort of urn-like vases, which are so big and put so much work and effort and style into them. And then I noticed one of them was broken. And it was broken in such a beautiful way that it kind of amplified the story instead of taking away from it, which is something I'm really starting to see in my positive and negative project. And I found this piece particularly useful because the cracks and breaks within the vase really amplified the story rather than taking away from it. Now these rather solemn looking pieces are by Christy Brown, and each of them represents a different sort of culture or personality, and you can really see that within the work. They're all holding different objects, they all look different, their faces are different size, their heads are different shapes, and I really, really like this piece because even in the simplest parts of each individual person you can see a personality coming through. And I think that it really represents culture today, even through their feet, through their hands, through the objects they're holding, and I really, really love this piece. Okay, so that kind of concludes the one half of our visit where we went to an exhibition and we looked through lots of stuff, and then the next half is from the Spode factory. Okay, so this is one piece at the Spode factory which really illuminated, quite literally, how beautiful porcelain is, and I don't know who this piece is by or where it came from, but I really think it's truly stunning. And the other piece I really liked was this one, where there was just lots of extruded people in tiny little rooms where they were factory built and all almost completely identical. Some of them looked happy, some of them looked sad, but they were all doing exactly the same thing, which was just typing at a computer. And I really think that it emanates today's society and today's work ethic, where we all just sit at aimless computers doing the same ridiculously dull task, and the literal metaphor of bricks and a wall really comes to life here and shows what the factory really once was. But the other piece that I really enjoyed was the BBC tableware rebuild, where lots of people had come together and remade something out of all of this broken pottery, and they'd made something beautiful again out of a lot of broken things. And I think that this really encapsulates what people can do when they put their minds to it and when they work together when, you know, things go wrong. And I really think this emanates the work ethic of a factory. People together.